Today is, what day is today? Today's Thursday. Today's Thursday, and it's Thursday night, late night crafting, you guys. So I go on at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you can always come in and join me. I'm Vicky, and this is again is the Purple Penguin Craft Room. So let's go ahead and hold on. Let me pull myself up here just for a quick second here. Oh, that's not what. I'm just pulling myself up here real quick. How do I did it last time. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, heck. Sorry, I'm playing around with this. Trying to. Oh, that's not what I wanted either. I think. No, that's not what I wanted. I am so sorry, you guys. I am really trying hard to. Here we go. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm done playing around. I promise. I'm done playing around. Okay, so let's jump right into this. We're gonna make a heart. Well, I'm gonna gear this towards Valentine's Day, but I'm gonna call it a heart candle holder. I love making candle holders. I make candle holders all the time for everything. And this kind of inspired me on this one. I made this last year. This piece here was actually from Dollar Tree, and it didn't come with the sticks and stuff on it. I did that myself, so I kind of made this my own. But the fact that I put the sticks on the hearts, it kind of inspired me to make this. So we're gonna take kind of this idea and run with it a little bit here. Sorry, I'm just gonna put that over here. We're gonna start with this box. And these are just, I got this at the Dollar Tree. This is just one of the small crates. They're like 3x3 inch little crates. We're going to cut the handles off of this, or the string handle, I guess, because we don't need that. But we're also going to use, this is just a candle. I don't think it's got, oh, it does have the batteries in it. And this just fits right inside, but you don't have to use this. If you wanted to use a real candle, I recommend one in a jar, because I don't recommend putting just a plain candle in here by itself. I found these at one of my, it was either a Dollar Tree or I think it might have been Walmart even, but these are kind of cool looking candles. They got the drips on them already. That can kind of sit in there if you wanted to do that. I mean, you can find all different kinds of light up things that you can put in your box. This just kind of makes it a little more open to where you can kind of have it however you want. We are going to use a wood base, and my wood base is roughly about 5 inches around. Roughly about 5 inches. I cut myself. This one I cut myself. But this is going to be our base for our base. So we're going to do like so. So let's get this started first, because I want to go ahead and antique wax this. So we want to stain look. So we're just going to take the Waverly Antique Wax and stain this piece and the bottom. And the only reason I want to do that first is so that they can start drying, because it will actually get a little damp because we are using a baby cloth, or baby wipe, I guess I should say. So we'll just start with our base here, and basically we just wipe it on. Wipe it on, wipe it off. I will do this with a lot of things. I love the stained look on a lot of my projects, so you will see me do this a lot, depending on how much you watch my project. Hopefully you'll like what you see and you can follow along. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can get updates as far as when I'm going live. I do post extra videos as well, so you can always watch those too. If you want as well, if you're not just on YouTube, you're also on Facebook. I am on Facebook as well, and I do lives on there as well. So it's kind of about me a little bit. If you're watching this and you're watching the replay, go ahead and go type in candle holder in the comments so that I know you're watching the replay. I'm just kind of curious as to who all watches, who's all paying attention. But go ahead and type in candle holder there in the comments. All right, but this is almost like watching paint dry. You just gotta have to go with it. It's just something you do on lives, right? All right, I did the front and back just to make sure that it's kind of a finished project. Now we're going to do this part of it here. I'm not going to be like super detailed on this. We are going to be covering this up a little bit with some hearts. So you're only going to see part of it. So it's okay if it's not perfect. I mean, unless you really want it to be. If you do, then that's on you. After you see the finished project, you might choose to do a little more perfect than I'm doing. It's up to you. Stay tuned. And I'm just kind of moving my finger around because it does wear through the baby wipe here. So that's the only reason I kind of change things around. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. I can definitely explain things. If you're watching the replay and you have questions, go ahead and still make comments. I do go back and answer questions as well. Doing the top, I don't think at this point I'm not going to do the inside. But it's something that I can always go back and do if I want to, because it's not like we're decorating the inside currently. Like I said, we're just going to place the candle inside. So that's gonna change up. But like I said, it's something that I can go back and do. It's not something that I have to do right away. So that is okay. Right now. All right, so let's just set those off to the side so they can dry a little bit before we continue on. Now, I was just at Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby this past weekend, and they had at Hobby Lobby has got Valentine's Day on sale. So they had a pack of these, and basically it's 2 different size hearts. And if I remember right, this is a 2.4 inch and and a 3.86 inch. So it's a 3 and a 2-ish. But like I said, it's $1.99, but they're on sale, I believe 40% off right now. So you can get them even cheaper. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to take 2 of the bigger ones, 2 of the bigger hearts, And those are going to go probably on the sides, like so, on the sides that don't have the slits in them. And we're going to take 2 of the smaller hearts, and those are going to go in the sides with the slits in them, like so. Now, the reason I'm not doing the big hearts all the way around is because if you notice, when you put the big heart on, it does have overhang. So you won't be able to get the next one next to it. However, if you want to, you could take all the small ones and do just small hearts and not big and small. So you can make it to where it's just all of the small hearts. Totally up to you, however you want to do it. We're gonna attempt to do 2 big and 2 small, and then can decide. I can change my mind if I want to change my mind. So we will just put these off to the side for just a second. Now, instead of doing sticks, because like I said, I was going to do sticks, I'm going to mix it up a little, and we're going to do straws. These are the paper straws. These at one point were, I believe, at Hobby Lobby, or no, sorry, Dollar Tree. I think these were at Dollar Tree. I could be wrong. They might have also been, I believe it was Party City at one point had these. I also have, I'm not sure who had these either, but here's some like purpley red ones. These are the red and black. So we're going to do the straws instead of sticks. Like I said, I'm just using that as an inspiration. But you know, when I was also at Hobby Lobby, I found they have lollipop sticks. Now they had them in these are more kind of a springy, it's making me feel more like spring color, but then they also have white as well. And then with the white ones, because they're like a paper, you can paint them whatever color you want. You might even be able to go on Amazon and get pre-colored lollipop. Just look up lollipop sticks and you can get whatever. They're super easy to cut. Probably they're not as easy to cut as the paper straws, but you can do smaller things with them and get a little more detailed. So that's totally up to you and how you decide what you want to do with it. Again, you can also do sticks from outside. Go on a nature walk and collect a bunch of sticks, dry them out, you know, make sure they don't have bugs and all the fun little critters and things. And then you can do the same thing with with the papers or with the sticks with no bugs. If you don't have any of those options available to you, you can also take colored paper and roll it with like a pen or with a skewer or something, and then glue it together so you can do your own paper rolls. So basically your own paper straws. Obviously you're not going to drink with them, but you can do your own colors, you can do your own sizes. Same concept, just a different way of doing it. So that's okay. We're going to go ahead, we're going to grab, I think I want to do the red. We're going to do the checkered, the red and black checkered. And take a whole bunch. Hopefully I don't run out. Now that I think about it, I didn't even think about the fact that I potentially could run out. So we may have to change this up a little bit. We'll see how this goes. I didn't even think about that. I may not be able to get away with this. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. So basically what we're going to do here is first thing. Now, I'm not going to pre-paint these. I was debating about pre-painting them. You can if you want. Totally up to you. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think we're going to X the big ones. Change of plan. We're just going to do the small ones to make sure that I have enough straws to go around, because I think if I do 2 big ones, 2 small ones, I think I might not have enough straws to do it. So just automatic thought on that. We're changing it up. So we're just going to take these and we are, so I can do it one of 2 ways. I can glue them down and then trim them up, or we can trim them up as we glue them down, or we can somewhat trim them and glue them down and then make sure we trim them back up again. So there's all sorts of ways we can do this. I'm kind of leaning towards trimming them as we go, just because I think it might be a little bit easier. See how it goes. Either way, it was easier to work with sticks. I'm just saying. I'm diving into this kind of with the unknown because, like I said, I haven't worked with straws, but I've done sticks, and it wasn't as hard with the sticks. Let me tell you. And I just dropped that, and we're just gonna go for another one. Okay, let's see about gluing this on. Normally, I would be not using my hot glue, but for the fact that this is a live, we're going to go ahead and just use hot glue tonight. Just note, this is not a normal thing for me to using hot glue. I like my tacky glue, you guys. All right, so I kind of already got the angle from cutting the first one. So we're just going to kind of go with it. And I'm kind of thinking it might be easier to cut one end first, glue it down, and then cut the other end. So since the curve's already cut on this one, we're just going to glue it down while it still has the other end, and then I'm going to cut it. I think it will just be easier that way. It could be wrong, but we're going to try. See how it works. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. All right. So yeah, we're gonna experiment with this, you guys. It's a trial and error kind of thing, but that's crafting in general. It's going to be trial and error. All right, so yeah, I'm going to eyeball. Yeah, I don't like how that one looks. Okay. This actually probably would be easier with sticks. Okay. But we're going to get through this. We got a little bit to go. This is not going to be a quick process. So if you're watching the replay, you may want to fast forward some of this to get it, so I get some of this done. But it will have a cool effect when it's done, though. I will say that. So basically, I'm lining up the one end, going to the other side, using my scissors to kind of hold its spot, but I'm not cutting it yet. And then I'm going to cut it when it's away from the heart. And then line it back up. It should match back up. And then it matches back up even. All right, now obviously this one is too short. We're going to go with the next one. Just a reminder, if you guys like what you see, if you like coming and watching some of my projects, definitely give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, but you definitely can find out when I'm got some more things posted, when some more things are going live, when I'm going live, and all that fun stuff. This actually doesn't do too bad once you already have the one side cut. I've had these straws for a little while, so I've been looking for a project to do something with them. This seemed like a good time to do it. Oh, again, that straw's done. This would also be a good project for kids if you want to do something with the kids. But obviously, cutting things first would probably be a little bit better for them. Not only that, but maybe even not using the hot glue, obviously, would be okay. They could use the tacky glue and they just have to wait for it to dry for them. Like I said, obviously, if I wasn't doing a live, I would be using my tacky glue right now. Okay. All right, that one did not glue on like it was supposed to. What happened here? All right, and so I didn't throw away that other little one that I had, and it actually will be a perfect size for this one right here. So save your little pieces because you can use them as the heart goes up further. Yeah, I can see this is going to get a little boring. Sorry, you guys. It's a little bit part of live crafting. Like I said, and like that's why I didn't paint underneath. It's because you don't even see it. You don't even see underneath. I'm thinking though, if you were to use sticks like I've done in the past, I would recommend probably painting underneath because those you definitely can't control the shape of sticks, and so it's definitely makes a difference because you can definitely see underneath them a lot better, or a lot more, I should say. So definitely keep that in mind when you're doing this. Now I've got two options. They didn't make it all the way to the top, but if I do one more, it's going to have a little bit of hangover. So I got to decide, do I want this little bit sticking up or do I want to have hangover? So I think I'm going to go ahead and we're going to try. We're going to try having a little bit hanging over the end and see what it looks like. If I don't like it, we can always pick it off, right? So let's see what it looks like. And I think that kind of finishes it off a little bit. So this is the part with the overhang, or this is the part that sticks up just a little bit. So I think we're just going to go ahead and do it on both sides. I think it'll be okay. All right. Just in case I start losing some of you guys, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show you how I'm going to put my box together with one, just so that you can see what it looks like before I start losing people. All right, so we're going to put our base down. We're going to put our piece down here. We're going to kind of center those so we got a square inside of a circle. I am going to use tacky glue for that. Just my Aleene's tacky glue here. Trying to evenly space it there. So that way we have that. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put our heart on one side here. All right, that's super cute. I like how that looks already. So then if you put a candle in it, that looks super cute already, right? I love that. I mean, even if you do a glass candle in it, really cute. All right, now kind of around the bottom, I want to do Spanish moss. I just want to kind of dress it up a little. So we're going to do some Spanish moss around the bottom. So I just like to put my glue all the way around. I'm going to kind of try and do all the way around, actually, because I can always just stick the hearts in there, even with the Spanish moss in there. And it doesn't take a lot. Spanish moss goes a long way, you guys. So, I mean, you can do it thicker if you want, or you can do it heavy. Totally up to you. Because it just depends on how dense you want your Spanish moss to be. And if you don't want as much as you put on there, you can always give it a haircut. I can always lift my heart up higher. If we want to do that for the tops to go up a little bit, we can do that too. So that's what I did. I just kind of lifted it up a little so that you can see it's a little bit higher than our box. So you can make it even with the box, or you can make it a little higher than the box. Either way works fine. All right, I'm going to go ahead. We might as well continue this all the way around. Why not? Sometimes it's just easier to cut the Spanish moss, you guys. Just make it easy on yourself. Just cut it. Sometimes it's just not worth it. All right. That looks cute already. I love how that looks. Some other things I kind of wanted to throw in there that I have. I've got a bunch of these. These are, they were, I think they're called cupcake picks. So they're wooden hearts already pre-painted, and they came with really long, almost like toothpick size picks. So they were, I believe they were considered cupcake picks, I believe is what they're called, or they might have just been heart picks or something. Sometimes you can just pull those out. And I was thinking of just kind of putting these in there. This is little extras. You don't have to. I just wanted something a little bit extra. If they don't come out, I just cut them off. These are just my wire cutters. We're going to dip them in the, they're going to kind of be hiding a little bit in the Spanish moss. So it's okay. Just give it a little something extra there. And I also have, I thought about using these little baby, they're almost like little baby dried roses. I believe they're from Temu. I was going to see, I don't think I want to put them in there. I just pulled them out to see if I wanted to put them in there or not. I think we're good. I might want to do I want to do a little, I was thinking about doing a little bow. I'm going to do a little bow on this. This is my white raffia ribbon, is what this is. This is kind of thick though, so I may not. It's pretty thick for what I think I want. I'm going to try and cut it. I haven't experimented with this ribbon. I don't know how much of this is like actual raffia here. I guess it doesn't want to tear in a straight line. Nope. So that was kind of wasteful a little bit there. All right, let's just make I just want a little bow. This might be too big for what I really want, but we're going to try it out because there's no harm in that. I do like this raffia ribbon, but it is a little bit thicker than I was expecting it to be, honestly. Oh, that's not too bad. We'll just add some white on there. So cute. And then watch if we put our candle in there. I love that. I love how that looks. I love how that looks. So now let's go ahead. Let's do one more heart to put on the back. I mean, you guys get the idea, obviously. But I want to finish this project. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's just go ahead and do it. And we're just going to go with it. Because why not? And we're just gonna hold it down, cut one end, hold it down, cut the other side. My whole problem here is making sure it's straight. Start it out straight. And the reason I'm starting at the bottom is because you can start out singly and then you can split off to do the top. I think if you start at the top, there's too much of a problem with you start here and you start here, but what if you don't match up when you get to the bottom, to the part where it singles out? So just to kind of make sure it all flows together, I'm just starting at the bottom versus the top. Hopefully that makes sense. We're working this out. So I might actually have enough straws to do the large ones too. So after I get these smaller ones, I might actually switch and do the bigger ones. I might have more straw space than I thought. But you never know. I could have enough for one and not two. I don't know. Don't go in here. All right, but let's just keep trucking here. All right, it does, once you get a rhythm down, it does go a little faster. And you're not flinging things all over the place. There we go. We're already halfway through. Now you could get a little creative with this if you really want to. You could go halfway one direction and then switch it up and go the other direction. And that would be really cute if you were doing something like two different colors. Like if I had a bunch of other straws where I could go sideways with like we'll say like a white or a solid red, and then we could do other, like Christmas would be really cute to do circles instead of hearts, and you could do Christmas balls. Like that would be really cute too. So you can play with it, experiment. I said usually paper straws are pretty easy to find. Look up paper straws. Everybody's trying to be, the eco-friendly paper straw thing they got going on. Like party stores would probably have the most variety, if not online, for sure. A lot of this is just kind of eyeballing to get it right. All right, like I said, we're getting so much closer, you guys. Almost there. The only downside to this project is that you see the ends of the straws. So depending on how much that bugs you, you might be able to do like a ribbon. If you felt like a ribbon, or if you cut a really thin piece of fabric or yarn or something, you could totally cover up the ends if that was something that you didn't really care for. I mean, so far it's not bugging me too much, but if I stare at it long enough, it might. It might be one of those things, you never know. Sometimes when I look at a project, for just a short period of time, everything looks fine. But then when I come back after looking at it for a little bit, it might change how I feel. Sorry, excuse me. Sometimes I get a tickle in my throat out of nowhere. There we go. We got one bump done. Just gonna do the other side now. All right, today is Thursday, so I hope you guys are having a great week. Hopefully, you guys are gonna have a great weekend. I know I live in the Pacific Northwest up here in Washington State, and we're actually slated to have a really nice weekend. It's not supposed to rain this weekend, so bonus for us. I'm looking forward to it. Start trying to do a little bit of yard work. A little bit of yard work done before the next rain comes in. We'll see. I might end up just crafting all weekend. That could be a thing too. All right, and there we go. So this is our second heart. And I think I'm just going to put it on the back here. Put it on the back end. And basically we're just going to mirror the front of it. And I'll put in these little guys too. There, just to get them to stay a minute. All right, so he's basically just the same as the front and the back. He's missing his bow. We got to put the bow in. So let's grab some more of this. I'm not going to attempt to cut it this time since that was a failure. We'll have to experiment with different brands of the raffia ribbon to find one that I like. This brand here, it's just called Raffia Paper, actually Raffia Paper Yarn. Is by Seaberry. I just got it on Amazon. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes thicker raffia is not a bad thing. Not for this particular project. It's not something that I want. So I'm going to have to try and hunt down a little bit thinner version at some point. If any of you have seen a thinner raffia ribbon, shoot me a message in the comments. Let me know where you found it. I'm kind of curious. All right. We are all set. And like I said, I can go back. I think I might have enough to do the bigger hearts. And we'll just put the bigger hearts on the sides. It might actually look better leaving it open. Or, like I said, I might even put another small one. I might do all the way around, all four sides. So I might go back and do that. We'll see. Super cute. All right, give me a thumbs up, you guys. Hang out, send me a message. All right, you guys, you have a great night and happy crafting.